A new crop is giving farmers in the Southeast a chance to improve their land while making money during the winter season. The crop, called Carinata, can increase resilience for farms by diversifying their crop rotation and can increase profitability during a time of the year when the land is usually not being used. But more research is needed to help farmers and this industry get growing. A new program is investigating Carinata as a potentially profitable winter cover crop for the southeastern U.S. This joint public-private partnership is called the Southeastern Partnership for Advanced Renewables from Carinata, or more simply, SPARC. The program is funded by a 5-year, $15 million NIFA grant. It brings together researchers from 9 universities, private companies, and industry stakeholders. The goal is to see if Carinata can be successfully grown, harvested, and processed into a variety of profitable products. The SPARC program is led by scientists from the University of Florida's Institute of Food and Agricultural Sciences, or IFAS. Principal investigator Dr. David Wright and Deputy Project Director Dr. Ian Small are working with a team of researchers to investigate every aspect of how to grow Carinata.
They're covering research in everything from agronomics, plant pathology, chemistry, fuel conversion technology, supply chain development, economic analysis, environmental ecosystem services, and various modeling efforts.
The main thing that we have to make sure is that this crop is profitable to growers in the winter and does not interfere with the cotton, peanut, corn, soybean. Otherwise, growers will not accept that.
Researchers like Dr. Ramdeo Sipal are developing new varieties of Carinata that can be successfully added to the crop rotation systems already being used by farmers. Sipal says the key to success for this feedstock research is a combination of good plant genetics and smart management techniques that will maximize the yield, and he is working to create a series of best management practices for Carinata growers that will minimize inputs and keep growing costs low for farmers.
Our primary goal is to identify adaptable varieties that can grow within our region. What are the management practices that fits Carinata within to our traditional rotations, and how the environment affects the growth and development of the crop. With continuous research in developing the genetics of the crop to identify cold-tolerant varieties that are early maturing and high-yielding, will allow us to grow the crop in more diverse rotations.
Research shows that growing Carinata has many benefits for farmers. It can improve soil health and fertility, and it can prevent outbreaks of disease and pests in future crops. Carinata plants can take up nutrients left in the soil from previous crops and help prevent these leftovers from leaching into groundwater. And the colorful Carinata flowers feed pollinators like bees and butterflies during time of the year when food sources are scarce. But the ultimate goal for this research is to support the commercialization of Carinata in the Southeast and give farmers a new way to make money.
Right now, farmers are having a difficult time sustaining their enterprises just because the commodity markets are difficult, and so they're looking for opportunities to increase their revenue, to maintain their operation, and to keep their farms, basically.
To help spread the word about Carinata, the SPARC team at the University of Georgia Extension created outreach materials to educate farmers about the benefits of growing this crop.
One of the main goals of the SPARC Extension team is to increase adoption of this crop Carinata in the Southeast. And to do that, we need to prove to farmers that it's worth growing. The best way to do that is through economics. We have a great economics team that is out there showing that Carinata does indeed make money, and what we want to prove is that it makes you a lot more money than leaving your field fallow, and if you're growing another crop during the cool season, it will actually perform better than that as well.
For an emerging enterprise like Carinata, it's very important that you don't just have production of the crop, there has to be markets that are developed, and everything in between requires that supply chain to be developed. So we have to build the entire supply chain as we move the project forward.
To create this supply chain, the SPARC program is partnering with private companies that produce the Carinata seed and help convert Carinata oils to fuels and other bioproducts.
Our Better Fuels group, who's doing all the work on Carinata, is in Panama City, Florida. And it's an entire research facility. So we have reactors and processes to convert Carinata all the way from the oil that comes out of Carinata all the way to finished fuels that meet the specification. For our conversion process, we just received approval for our jet fuel pathway, so it's approved for commercial use now. And one of the very first demonstration flight on 100% jet fuel from our process, Carinata was part of the feedstock for that.
The biofuel created from Carinata seed oil is of such high quality that it is currently being used to create sustainable aviation fuel and renewable diesel. There is a demand for biofuels in aviation because the industry is committed to reducing carbon dioxide emissions by 50% by the year 2050. Since airplanes rely on liquid fuel for the foreseeable future, industry experts see using Carinata oil for fuel could be a key step forward in meeting this goal and reducing worldwide carbon emissions.
We're already talking about development plans for in excess of 2 billion gallons of fuel. Because we're looking at building up to a significant volume of fuels, we really need to look at every source that we have. And this is a great one for this region. There's still some agronomic and breeding work that needs to be done to continue to improve yields and address other issues, all the things that the SPARC team is working on. So I think there's plenty of room for continued improvement because we're just getting started.
Under the SPARC project, our charter is to advance the biofuel side and to look at valuable co-products that can be made. We want to demonstrate that there's a commercial pathway and a demand for those co-products.
Once the seed is harvested, the remaining parts of Carinata can be turned into a high-protein meal for livestock, poultry, and others. IFAS animal nutrition researcher Nicholas DiLorenzo is investigating the effects of this new feed on beef cattle and hopes it could be a good source of protein.
Our plan will be to start using Carinata in beef cattle operations as a supplement, mostly providing protein. This area is known for the deficiency in protein in our forages, so Carinata will really fill in the gap. We're going to be looking at the use in winter supplementation of the cow-calf herd. We're also looking at its potential as a replacement heifer development, basically for growing cattle that will have greater needs for protein. We're really hoping that this Brassica Carinata meal will help lower the cost of developing those heifers to get them ready to join the beef herd.
Additional research is also being done by SPARC team members in the area of system metrics and modeling to better understand the overall benefits of Carinata from seed to renewable fuel to valuable co-products.
We are looking into entire bioeconomy when it comes to Carinata. For example, when we produce sustainable aviation fuels from Carinata, we also get a lot of other valuable co-products which can go to other industries.
The future for Carinata continues to look bright, but continued research and policy support is needed. For now, Carinata remains an encouraging option for farmers looking and growing toward the future.
Our research over the past 7 years at University of Florida has demonstrated that Carinata is a viable winter oilseed in the Southeast.
The thing that's really important here is the linkage of the crop development directly to the rest of the supply chain, and that doesn't happen naturally. I applaud this team, USDA, NIFA, in working research and development through this kind of project, and quite frankly, hope that the success here in this project actually leads to additional similar projects.
I think the future is bright because everybody that we have worked with in the Carinata project has really stepped up, and I have gained even more respect for the researchers in the Southeast and across the country that we've worked with on this project.